All right, guys. Good morning. It's morning over here. Okay. I was supposed to have made this video yesterday, but I had a very busy day yesterday, and everything is now looking so piled up. My plan was to be making video every day of my thought process, whether I lose or I win. So that's the plan. I should make video to show what I observed in the market and the reasons behind the trade. So I actually mapped out these key zones all this while, and this is on a higher time frame. This is 1 hour time frame. So everywhere you see me mark with green, it shows a key zone. Everywhere with red is also a key zone. The red zones are zones where I expect sell to happen. So when you see those red candles, obviously those red candles are bearish candles. They are selling candles that indicate sellers are in the market. And then when you see the green candles, they are candles that indicate buyers are in the market. So I decided to go with that by using the green color to mark my key zones for buyers and zone, and the red zones for seller zone. So now this is a higher time frame. Now look at this. This market actually bought from all this while, just like the previous video I did. We were expecting the buy, so I was explaining what was happening behind every retracement. If you notice, it bought from here to this key zone and it sold down. It bought to the next key zone, it sold down, and it decided to respect the next buy zone, which is this point, and it brought down to the next key zone for the bearish candle. So how am I getting my key zones for the bearish candle? Look from this point now, you notice this is like a zone where the market got to, and it went back, came back again, it retraced back from here, came back again. So after the whole bearish movement, decided to touch that very same position and sold a bit. So those are zones that are showing the retracement, even though it's a bullish movement. But you could see those are key zones, because when it got to that very spot, it decided to retrace a bit, but it still decided to respect the main movement. Now I was on this buy then, and I was expecting the buy to get to this very zone. Look at it now. When you do it properly, it's almost there. Now we learn every day in this market. There are times when you expect it to just get to the exact spot of the key zone. It might not get to that very exact spot. So that's why it's good to take partials. And sometimes when your mind is telling you, when you're observing something, like sometimes it might not get to the exact spot, you might just take some partials though. That's why the market is very uncertain place. So you notice he didn't get to the line I marked up right there. He didn't get to that very line right there. He didn't get to it before the retracement happened. So when the retracement started happening, I noticed, okay, I was expecting a buy to still happen, because he didn't get to that very exact key level before the retracement, the key level I marked there. But it got down to this buy zone. He bought a bit, and then at this spot you notice a retracement started happening. So the moment it broke this very key zone right here that I highlighted with green, now the moment it broke it downward, I know, okay, that's the key zone that was supposed to be respected, but it wasn't respected anymore. Sellers are active in the market. Started selling from there. It sold down to this spot, sold down again. So after every whole thing, I think I had a loss of Thursday. And let me show you the reason why I had that loss. The reason why I had that loss was the market was just I think my stop loss was so tight initially. Let me go down to the lower time frame now. 5 minutes time frame to make it very clear. I don't want the video to be too long, just quick explanation, and then that's it. Okay, so look at it. I was stopped at, this was Thursday analysis. I was stopped at right here. You noticed it. I analyzed sell from here because this is a break and a retest, but the market stopped me out. and before he decided to start selling. I entered the sell again from this zone. I entered the sell again here from this zone also. I sold down. Now I was in deep profit, expecting it to get to my spot where I highlighted on my key zone, but the market didn't get to that spot exactly. Same thing. So it didn't get to that spot and it retraced. I was still expecting, because sellers are active in this very zone on this time frame, showing that sellers are active here. I was still expecting it to sell down before any buy should happen, but unfortunately it didn't happen that way. It decided to break this zone and the buyers took over from the market. So I had some loss that Thursday, and that was it for Thursday. I was able to recover my loss on Friday. So on Friday, I gave this signal on my group, Telegram group. If you're on my Telegram group, you should be aware of this. I saw the buy. Now, if I'm to start explaining how I got the whole thing, it might take so much time. The video might be so long. Okay, look at this. Now look at, I actually used the indicator to map out my Asian zone. This indicator shows my Asian zone on 5-minute time frame, and then let me quickly explain something now on 1-minute time frame to you. Okay, let me use this time frame. Okay, now the way I do it is, my strategy is just simply break and retest, and then inducement. So I consider two things while I analyze the market: break and retest, and then inducement. So for the break and retest, I go down to 1-minute time frame to map out my key zones for my break and retest. So let me show you. So people find 1-minute time frame as quite very complex, but for me, is something that I am used to. It shows you, it reveals the market to you, so it passes a message. It's for you to understand what is happening on that very 1-minute time frame. If you know what's happening on the 1-minute time frame, then before it plays out on the higher time frame, you're already seeing it already. Are you getting the point? So, but there are times whereby you might need to just not decide to use the tight stop loss that the 1 minute is showing you, because sometimes I notice these days when you decide to just stick to the tight stop loss that the 1 minute is showing you, you might just serve as liquidity before the main movement happen. But at least you can read what the market is telling you on the 1 minute, and then you just give some allowance, some breathing space on your stop loss on higher time frame before. So this is it. What I did is this. This is the Asian section. From the Asian section, you notice I was observing sellers in the market. So this is a break, and a retest. Each point you see me map like this, it means there was a break and a retest. So these are possible entry zones. If I was to trade the Asian section, I could have taken a sell from that point. Now it decided to break again, came back. This is another entry zone for me. If I was to trade on that section, that's an entry zone. It decided to break again and retest. This is another entry zone for me if I'm to trade on that section. You see how it's respecting it. Are you getting it? So in a nutshell, my strategy is so simple that even a newborn baby can understand it. So how do I know when buyers are active in the market? Each time this very key zone is broken on this very 1-minute time frame, I'll know, okay, there are possible buyers now in the market. Look at it. The moment this zone got broken, you will know, okay, it's like buyers are active in the market now. Now, what did he do? He decided to go up. I would expect it to come down here before I would take an entry for the buy. But if you notice, it didn't come down to that spot exactly. It should come down to either this spot or this very spot here. Then I'll take my buy, but it didn't come down to that spot. That's fine. But at least if you're in this sell zone now, for instance, you should be able to know that, okay, the moment this zone is broken, you should take either your partials or either you take your partials or you set your this thing on break even. You set your stop loss on break even, because surely if it should break here, high tendency that it's gonna come to the very start of the move for the sell. So that's what happened. It went up to this point. Now, if you notice, based on what I told you, I trade both break and supply with inducement. So this is an inducement zone. All these zones now are inducement zone, because the start of this sell movement started from this very point, started moving down from here in the Asian section. So this is a possible sell zone from here to here. These are possible sell zones. These are inducement zones right now. So what do I do if I see a trade get to that inducement zone? What I do is this: I'll wait to see a break to the downside before I take my sell. So look at it. This is a buy, also a buy movement. I saw this break and retest showing the buy movement, but now the buy movement was not taken out, showing me that okay, sellers are active. And notice, don't forget, I said these are inducement zone. From this point to this point is an inducement zone. So when I see the inducement zone is being induced, I'll be waiting to see a break to the downside on my 1 minute time frame before I'll take any trade. So now this is a break to the downside and a retest. So this is a very sure sell zone for me. I'll take my entry from here and I'll sell down. So but I didn't take all these various trade, because naturally I'm not supposed to trade this session. I decided to maintain my discipline. The last few days, in short this week, I tried not to trade on Asian section because I noticed it's affecting me in a way. So I didn't take all this trade, but these are opportunities. My strategy is showing me many opportunities, and it's tempting, So this is it. Another sell zone to sell down. Now when it got to this key zone, now decided to respect the key zone. If you notice, it was respecting the key zone. 1, 2, 3. You've noticed 3 bounce from that very key zone, showing that okay, it's like buyers are now active in the market. And now this is showing you that buyers are active in the market, and it even broke this point a bit. If you notice, this one took this part out. Now what will you be expecting for an inducement? This is an inducement. Inducement is when it breaks that very key zone. This is it. So it breaks the key zone, and this is an inducement. This is an inducement. So I noticed this inducement. I saw a break to the upside, which is what I usually expect. When I see an inducement, I'll wait for a break to the upside. But if you notice, everything is now looking like a consolidated market, because there's an inducement here, there's an inducement here, and there's an inducement here. So everything is looking like the market is consolidating. No specific direction right now. So sellers are active here, buyers are active here. Are you getting it? Sellers are active here, buyers are active here. So who wins the day? That's the question. Now, from my observation, after this very inducement happened, this is a break to the upside. This is a break to the upside. Now, take note. This is an inducement zone now, which is being induced. Possible sell zone. I won't take any trade at that point. I'll have to wait, because it's coming from an inducement zone. Decide to come down to this point. This is supposed to be a buy zone, but because this is an inducement zone, it's risky to take any buy or any sell at this point. You have to stay patient. So that's why the forex market sometimes requires some high level of patience. You understand? When you notice both buyers and sellers are active in the market, they are both trying to take a decision, you should wait to see the clear movement, the clear decision before you enter. So I decided to wait till London open, which is naturally around 7 a.m. But I was at work, and it was just few minutes to London open. I noticed this break. Are you getting it? This break of Asian section. Asian section is closed already. So London section is like open already. This Frankfurt, then London section. You need to learn time zones. When I say London section, yeah, I will explain everything gradually for those who are beginners and new into the market, but this is a bit broad. So there's something we call sections in the market: London section, Asian sections, Frankfurt sections, and New York sections. So you check that on your YouTube to learn more, or you wait for my videos on beginners process as well. So this like a break from the Asian section. When I noticed this break from the Asian section, I was supposed to wait for a full body close candle out there, but I didn't see a full body close candle. Because of my level of impatience, I took the trade from there. But I now had a very big stop loss of about 200 pips, because I know that if this thing should sell, it should be when it take out this very inducement, then I'll know, okay, sellers have taken the day. So I believe strongly that for the fact that it broke this Asian section, buyers are present in the market and high possibilities of buying the market. So I now had to have a very high stop loss, waiting for an inducement here. I know that there are high tendency that the market will come here, give me inducement, because this is an inducement zone, and it break to the upside again for me to enter. So I just had a very big stop loss right there, waiting for other entries. I just took one entry there and decided to put my stop loss on 200 pips, just one entry, because naturally I take 2 entry per trade. So I was waiting to take my second entry when the market comes down here, and that was what happened. The candle that I was thinking is going to close up didn't close, so I know that there will be a retracement, and that was what happened. The market decided to be consolidating. That was because we're expecting NFP news, and the news came at around 1:30 London time. So now look at it. So it decided to just induce instead of having a full body close. So we call this an inducement. So he decided to just induce and was doing all his whole manipulation right here. All these are just manipulation. All these are just manipulation for those who stick to just 1 minute time frame and they are not using higher time frame. Now me, I use both higher time frame and then the lower time frame for my confirmation. So I was just waiting. I noticed all the whole thing happening. I know that at the end of the day, it should come down to here. So it was showing buy movement. They decided to take it out again, show buy movement. For those who are using lower time frame only, it will show them buy movement, take them out again. So patience was the game. When the news came out, it decided to do this. So when it broke that very zone with a candle upward, I knew that, okay, buyers are present in the market actively. And it decided to come back to induce that zone I was expecting it to induce without taking us out. It was still very much present. So if you notice where my stop loss is, look at where my stop loss is, 5.7. My stop loss is on 5.7. So it didn't take us out. It came down. My stop loss is on 5.7. Not this. This is not my stop loss. So my main stop loss is 5.7. Look at it. So it came down and it showed this buy movement now. Look at the buy movement right here. So it did inducement plus break to the upside. This is a good entry, but I didn't take the entry because I already had 2 entry for the day. I already had 2 entry, so this is another very good entry. This is another good entry, a break and a retest. Key zones. So when I say key zones are being respected in the market, this is what I mean. If you notice, a break and a retest, then you see key zones are also being respected. So that's it for today. I will just quickly go to the higher time frame and show you what also was happening on the higher time frame before I end the video quickly, so it doesn't look too long. Okay, on 1 hour time frame, let's go. So you see, look at what was happening on 1 hour time frame. So after that zone where I told you I entered that sell, I expected it to get to this point. It didn't get to the point I was expecting it to. It started buying. It came up. It broke this very sell zone right here. So I noticed, okay, buyers are present in the market actively. When it broke this zone, you know that buyers are fully present in the market, and that's what happened. It broke this zone, came back, retest a key zone, went up again to the next key zone, and came back to the next key zone. So we expect more push for buy to this very point, all-time high for the day. So that's it. Okay, thank you. Do have a good day, and don't forget to subscribe and like this very video.